I used to work at a hotel that rhymed with the Bilton.
Okay.
Did
Sharon,
the daughter
got it.
of the Biltons have a sex tape by any chance?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
And yeah, I
George
worked.
Sharon.
Yes, I worked room service sometimes in the evening, and it was like a corporate version of this hotel. So it was a lot of people, solo people on business trips. And I guess when people are away from their wives or family or whatever, the boss isn't there, they do some weird shit. And when
So are you saying like you're walking in, like delivering like
Yes.
a plate of wings, and then they're in the
Yes.
middle of like some spanking thing?
or more commonly, they are anticipating me coming up,
Huh.
and they have prepared.
You're part of their fantasy. You walking in on
Yes.
them.
So, and I didn't know that at first. And I worked with this lovely man, and he loved it because he would try to sleep with some of the men that were there on business trips, and I would just know like if he's up there for a while delivering the chicken fingers, like he's delivering some chicken fingers. What is that?
It's getting real chicken fingers.
Yeah. But then if they hear a woman answer the phone and taking their order, then, I would come up and like sometimes they'd be wearing no pants and they'd be like, oops. Or they would invite me in, that kind of thing. And then, so the weirdest one I saw was a woman, and I tried to like bring the cart in with her food, and she opened the door like a crack. And I was like, well, I can't get the tray in. And she was like, just leave it at the door. And I said, like, well, I need to like bring the cart back. We only have one cart. Like, can I come in? And she was looking all around, and she said, okay, just really, really quick. She was probably like in her 50s. So I brought it in, and I could like see out of the corner of my eye that like there was something sitting on the bed. And like, I didn't know if it was like a child or a doll or something. And I looked over, and there was,
Ghost.
I actually wish.
Then we know the story's made up. We've been listening for 3 minutes, so we're into it.
There was an alien. There was a beaver, like a stuffed beaver that was probably like this big, and he was like wearing clothes. It wasn't taxidermy, like it was somewhere between like a doll and like a real beaver. And I looked at him and realized, okay, there's like a beaver on the bed.
You knew it was a male beaver?
I knew it was a
The biggest dick you've ever seen on
his
an
beaver
animal.
dick was huge. No, he was wearing like a little like a little
Tuxedo.
vest and shorts. It appeared.
It's a business meeting.
He was yeah.
It's business beaver.
Yes.
beaver.
And she saw me look at him, and she was like signing the receipt, and she was like, that's my beaver. And I said, oh, yeah. And she was like, he comes with me sometimes. And I said, okay. And then I looked at the desk, and there was like some weird like ointments around the beaver. And then I left. And then the next morning I was working, and I saw her like carrying this like large suitcase, and I was like, oh, safe travels, little buddy. Like I knew the beaver was in this.
Oh my god. From a different lens, that's the most depressing thing in the world. Like if we were all beavers, and then you like your end game is not like resting in a casket in the ground, decomposing, becoming back to nature. You were picked up by an alien, entombed in like glass, and then brought around and showed to people, like,
But what
or
was he
like petted.
What was he for?
He was for fucking. In some capacity. I don't think she's just petting this thing.
Emotional
The
support.
ointments were there. The ointments were
Yeah.
used for something.
Yeah.
I was
I
trying
like
to.
the word ointment.
Yeah,
It's a
there
good
was
word.
some tubes.
Couple of tubes, couple of creams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beaver's just soaking wet, slimy looking beaver.
Prescription creams? Yeah. Like
I don't know. They seem to have like some kind of, it's like a tub and a tube.
Was that your first job ever?
As in life?
Yeah.
No.
What was
This
your
was
first
like
job?
6 years ago.
It just came from there today.
Yeah, and then the only other one was a guy had like a full he ordered 2 of everything, like 2 meals, 2 glasses of wine, and it wasn't like a blow up doll, but it wasn't a mannequin. I guess it was like one of those real sex.
Oh,
dolls?
like a sex robot?
Yeah, like
6 years ago. This was just a regular doll.
I don't know,
Okay.
because she was like life size, and she was sitting on the bed, and I thought it was a woman, and I was like, oh, there's one in lingerie, like I better get out of here. And then I like he said Jasmine will take her meal on the bed.
Whoa.
No.
And I was like, okay. Oh. And then I laughed because I realized, oh, she's not real. And he was like, I said she'll take it on the bed.
And then you realize he's dressed like Aladdin?
Yeah. And then I gave her the tray, and I was like, I just got to get out of here. And I swear on my life, he said, she's a teacher.
On the way out?
He told me. She's
proud.
a teacher.
He's proud
And
of
she
her.
works. Good.
She paid for the room.
Yeah. So she was in a little purple negligee. She was sitting on the bed. She had a salad.
She had a salad.
Well,
yeah,
I
she's
put-
trying to watch her figure.
She got into that negligee. I put the salad in front of her.
That guy has like, he's enough in the fantasy that he orders 2 meals, and he's enough out of the fantasy to go, I don't want to waste food, so I'm gonna have to eat a salad as well. So I
Yeah.
better order her something light.
Yeah.
Why you wanna fight about nothing?
Anyways.
Why you
There was a lot more crazy shit, but those were the 2 weirdest ones. One guy had the heat blasting, and when I came in, and it was the middle of summer, it was like July, and he was like, "Hot enough for you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Want me to turn on the AC?" He's like, "Nah." And then I left, and then I saw a woman walking in, and she was like, "David, it's so fucking hot in here." So it was like his wife, I guess. I don't know.
Subtle pranks. This guy
I think he thought I'd be like,
That you just delivering his food. That you're like, hey, it's so hot in here. I
I
gotta
gotta
get
take
naked
off my
immediately.
shirt.
A 12-second task.
yeah.
I was a valet,
Oh.
and I never got to do anything cool like that, but sometimes we'd help people carry their bags up. And I remember, like, I would always blow it. Like, people would be like, do you know where we can get cocaine? And I'd be like, no, sir. That's illegal. When I should have been like, I should have found out where to get cocaine. I could have made so much more money.
Yeah. It's
Or just been like, yes, I do. It'll be $1,000.
Yeah.
And they give you $1,000 and you just don't go back.
Right. What are they going to say? The bellman stole my $1,000 for cocaine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You ever smash a car? You ever crash a car?
No, but I did, because it was like a golf course, very nice golf course. I did get to drive some really nice cars, and I didn't know how to drive stick.
Oh.
And there was a Maserati, and it's insane that I had the confidence to do this, but I'm like, when else will I get to drive a Maserati? And I'd done it a couple times, like stick, but always stalled it. And somehow I backed this thing down the hill and parked it.
You're back it down the hill.
Well, I guess but I had to bring it up the hill later
Right.
in front of it, and I was just so nervous.
I can imagine that being a nerve-wracking job being a valet, because you're just like, you're taking someone's prized possession, hopping in and being like, don't worry, I got
Yeah.
this, buddy.
Well, you know what's funny? Because you get special insurance, but it was never the people with like the $700,000 Bentleys or the $300,000 Maseratis who were kind of dicks. It was always like, I remember once somebody,
2008 Camry.
it was a Mustang. This guy had this Mustang with the greasiest steering wheel you'd ever seen. And he like threw us the keys and was like, try to keep some tread on the tires, boys.
Oh
And
my
we're like,
God.
yeah, we will.
We're just parking it over there.
You can see it the whole time, sir. Yeah.
And he like can't afford to golf. They just send him away.
How much Vaseline are you guys putting on yours?
Ointment?
Just enough that I can't turn it very well.
I just want to know that, like, if I have to, like, let go immediately, I have no friction.
Yeah, exactly.
What was your first job, Chelsea? You said that wasn't your first job. What was your first job?
Other than babysitting, my very first job was at a tanning salon. I was 16 and like I was burning people. Like I didn't know. They didn't tell us. Like there were like redheads, much like yourself, coming in,
We burn easily.
and I was putting them in for 30 minutes.
30
and-
minutes as a redhead.
Yeah, and I was crisping their skin. Like I had no idea. And it was like in the early 2000s, so there was like tan addicts back then.
Yeah.
And and I wasn't allowed to like let people in 2 days in a row. And there would be like, I remember this one man, his name was Bert, and he would be like, please, like he needed to tan every day.
He was jonesing for that tan.
He was jonesing for it.
It's fading. I can tell.
Yeah, and I'd be
Just
like,
needed to find a second place to go.
he did, but everyone was turning him away, and I was the sucker, and I was like,
'Cause he's
get
like-
in there, Bert, it's fine. Like not realizing that like, and people would come back the next day and be like, their skin would be like bubbling.
Oh no.
And they'd come back for more?
No, they would come back to be like, some teen crisped me, and I'd be like, sorry.
Do people ever wear sunscreen in a tanning booth?
No,
Not
you're supposed to wear a cream that. This is the pitch. This cream will bring your capillaries to the surface, so you tan quicker.
But you think it's a lie.
I think it's true, and
Do
that's
they
why
sell you the cream?
I sell the cream, and I would get a commission. So I was pushing those creams.
Sir, you look very pale today.
It's not. What are you, capillaries to the surface?
I don't know. It's checked out to 16-year-old me.
Capillary is just the channel that brings your blood to the surface. So
So capillaries don't.
capillary is like the hole. Like to say that your capillaries would come to the surface doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Potato. Like I didn't know.
I mean, I'm
Just
also
trying to make
not
a
a brain
quick buck
scientist,
here.
so who knows?
16-year-old crisping some gingers. How long can you last in the sun? A strong sun, a Canadian summer sun, without any kind of cream, without any of this capillary cream.
A strong summer sun.
Yeah, how long are you lasting out in that sun?
But you're not that peachy.
Thank you.
Is it 30 seconds? 1 minute?
I'd say it's a good 20 minutes.
You can do 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes of unabashed sun, but that I can't. Then going into the shade, that number comes down, right? It's like the whole day.
That you've used up. You've used up
Yeah.
your quotient for.
Yeah.
Quotient for.
So if I go back out, then I get less time, like another 5-10 minutes, and then.
Do you peel? I burn and peel every time. Like I wanted to be tan. My brother was tan. I was like that guy begging to come back for more.
Yeah.
And I'm just pink, peel, and repeat.
Oh.
No, well, if I burn, yes, but I've adopted the sunscreen lifestyle.
Right.
Oh yeah. Do you have a hat? Do you got like a wide brim hat that you go in?
No, I'm not that aggressive. I'm
No.
just if I'm ever like out in the sun,
Right.
it's usually because I'm at the beach with a bunch of people and they have all the accoutrement. They've got the
Accoutrement.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
They
Got
got the
the-
mineral sunscreen
yeah,
now.
they got the like
You
the
using the zinc?
overhead hanging
Oh,
umbrella.
the zinc.
You using the zinc, Ian?
The zinc. That's what like, surfers. I feel like that's if you're cool, you put on zinc.
And lips too. People do it.
Oh, the
Oh,
lip
the
lip
lips,
balm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I went to Australia and I was like, I tan. I cooked, and my lips were like swollen.
You're a Bert.
I was
You-
full circle karma for me.
Bert's name is also awfully close to burnt. Like it's kind of maybe it was a prophecy. at
I
one
thought you were calling her a bird. And I
Oh,
was confused by
point.
that.
Oh, birds love the sun.
yeah. There are a lot of birds in Australia. That's true.
Is that true? Okay.
The first bird I saw, I was taking pictures and all the local Aussies were laughing. Apparently it's their pigeon,
Great.
but
Oh,
he was beautiful and exotic, but he was eating trash.
Yeah.
Our
They were
pigeons?
everywhere.
Our pigeons were once beautiful exotic doves.
Their markings are very pretty, I think.
They are still pretty. We just abandoned them. They were cats 200 years ago. We're like, oh, we've got phones now. Get out of here.
Would you eat a pigeon?
I wouldn't eat a pigeon, but I'd raise a pigeon.
Okay.
I'd eat
What's
a
the
pigeon.
fancy name for pigeon again?
Pigeon.
It's French. No, it's like
It's Pidgeotto.
No, a dove, right?
no, it's gonna come to me. Fowl.
Oh,
Is that a pigeon?
No,
No,
that is just a
that's-
general term for bird.
Okay.
I'm glad you're here because
Is
the risk of sounding dumb, you've told us what a capillary.
Capillary.
Well, don't trust me.
Capillary? Gland. I know it's a gland.
That's not a
Brings
gland.
your
It was a good
capillary
pitch, though.
gland.
This is we
No,
can't
no,
we
they're
can't
like-
guess what this is. It's only getting worse.
They're like little veins. It's like yeah, there are like channels, but they're just You ever see someone who's drank too much and they get like they get the capillaries in
Yeah.
their face?
My soccer coach as a kid,
Exactly.
always shaking.
You
the whole
knew
sideline.
right away.
Yeah, pinkest nose I ever saw. I came home. I was like, "Ma, the coach's nose is pink." She's like, "He's a drinker, sweetie.
Yeah, they're tiny little veins.
Don't eat the oranges. Just they take mimosas."
Because they were used in sangria earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot of grapes.
You
in here.
recycled the the rinds. No one eats the rinds. Also in the tanning salon, we had to be tanned to like sell the product.
Oh, yeah,
So-
you don't want a pail. You don't want to buy it from a pale.
Exactly. So we had to.
Hi guys, would you like 5 minutes in the bed?
Do you want to look like me? It's you. Yeah, we had to go in every shift.
Right.
But then I was getting like very dark, so I would just turn on the bed and like stand.
You'd fake tan?
Yeah, they would check.
Oh.
How many hours?
Did they check if I put in the staff coat and if I did a tan?
Oh, really?
Wow.
Did you have your own personalized goggles back
Yeah.
in the day? Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember going there once because you had to go before everyone went to like Cancun or Mexico trip. You wanted to get the base
Base.
before you set up there.
Is that real? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, probably because you can't
Maybe.
just show up there with like crisp virgin skin over here.
The first time I ever got wickedly burnt was in Cancun. I had not burned the whole time I was there because I'd been putting on like SPF 9000.
Yeah.
And last day I was like, well, I should try and tan a little bit. So I just laid out in the sun for like 15 minutes. The flight home the next day, I couldn't stand without my
Mhm.
entire body being in
Right.
pain.
Were you puking? Like, was it like a sunstroke?
It wasn't a sunstroke. It was like the expansion of my leg skin from my muscles working was
Tight.
just agony. Yeah,
my God.
it was pure. I imagine it's what it's like if you get burned by fire.
Oh, much worse. You've
Yeah.
suffered much worse.
Is that the worst? That's the worst burn you've ever had.
Yeah.
Mine was Australia the first time.
The worst injury I've ever had is I ran full tilt into a telephone pole.
How did you do that?
You didn't see it coming.
By accident.
I didn't see it coming. I swear to God, I was, I don't know, 15, 13 years old. And I was walking home from school. My mom pulled up beside me in a car. We were both coming home at the same time. And I looked over at her and she looked over at me and honked. And I was like, oh, and then I started like walking faster. And then I started running and then I started sprinting. And I just remember the look on my mom's face of being like,
The horror.
Because you were staring at your mom's car
Yeah,
while
you-
sprinting.
yeah.
You
And
love
then-
your mom so much, you're running towards your mom.
and it was just like that second of like the face changing and then blackout. It was just
it was
so
it
much
was
pain.
unconscious. Like you fell back.
I fell straight to the floor. I mean, it was like 1 second blackout. I just remember getting up off the ground and having the worst headache I've ever
Blood
had in my life.
From the nose?
No, side of the head. Because I'm looking
Bleeding.
I'm looking to the side at my
Oh,
mom.
right.
No bleeding, thankfully. Just like probably a concussion.
But that was the
next
worst
year.
injury you've ever had?
Well, no, that was the most painful.
Oh.
Yeah.
You get ripped up from the telephone pole, like 'cause that's a full posters and like
Is
staples in that thing for all the
concrete.
bands. Oh, concrete.
Hit
Oh,
someone's
yeah.
improv show?
Is just,
Oh yeah, it's hard. Concrete's normally pretty hard.
Yeah.
I saw a guy lean when I was a kid. I saw a guy lean to see if the GO train was coming.
Head decapitated.
He didn't get decapitated. He just got hit.
By the
Oh
GO
my
train?
God.
Yeah, and his cheek was gone.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, and I remember he was like, I'm late for school. And I was like, oh, and he looked right at me.
I think this was a ghost from
No,
The Sixth Sense.
no.
Oh my
And then
God.
my dad just like turned my head away, like, don't look at him.
Don't talk to strangers.
Yeah.
The man is
He
fine.
doesn't care about the guy. Yeah.
Wait, what happened? I don't understand. So he put his face on the track
No,
No.
he looked to see if it was coming, and the train was coming, and
Oh,
Immediately.
like he
and it brushed it, caught a cheekbone.
Yeah.
His cheekbone diminished, just vanished off of his face.
it was like
It- oh.
indented,
wow.
indented.
and it was just red, but it wasn't blood. It was just like this.
And he
then-
said, I'm late.
and he was like, and everyone was like, "Hey, Mister, are you okay?" Like he was like, "I gotta go to class. I'm late." And then they were like, "You're in shock," and he was like, and his face was like,
Oh no.
This is like a Band
Full,
of
like,
Brothers
L?
scene.
Yeah, full like L shape.
Yeah, it was
Honestly,
just like
it
this.
sounds like he was a ghoul of some kind.
Yeah.
Because
He-
he did not seem that.
he became a ghoul.
yeah.
I saw my mom.
A ghoul at school. Yeah. And then my dad, like turned my head away because I guess I don't know, something started to happen. And then he was sitting down and everyone crowded around him. But other people just got on the train.
Yeah.
That's understood. You
Yeah,
know,
If you would have got on the train,
how
you would
many,
like the
how many
dad.
people do you need to fix this guy's face?
You're like,
right?
I'm not a doctor.
Two max.
And like
two.
two.
One
One
person to
guy-
call the thing and one person to deal with him. Everybody else, places to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those-
I saw a lady fall on the tracks once.
Off the
A
thing?
young and shepherd. No, she fell.
She was same thing. She was looking.
She fell a subway. She fell backwards. She was an older lady. She got off the train and it whizzing by. She was like, "Whoa, whoa." Like that was funnier than it actually was. She didn't die, so it was okay.
Did you have the instinct to jump down there and save her?
It was because Young and Shepherd is not, I guess, not a popular station, and there was nobody around.
Nobody goes there.
And she fell, and she looked right at me, and went, "Help me!" And I was like, "I know if I jump down, I'm not gonna be able to get back up." And then another old lady jumped down and got her, and she was like, "She's my sister. Why am I laughing?"
Because you're sad. You're so.
But then these very sweet boys, like they're like teens, and they were in a Catholic school uniform. They just jumped right down and got her.
These two ladies.
Yeah, they were totally fearless, and I was there as well.
You nearly witnessed
So
two
you're-
women die.
I went up and was like, "Hey, there's somebody on the tracks." And then they came down and they're like, "No, there's not." I was like, "Huh, there was." I didn't do anything.
Narc.
It is funny that like you think in those moments you're gonna be a hero. Like in your fantasy, you're like, of
froze.
course.
Yeah, I was like, if I jump down, like I can't help. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Her sister didn't even wait a second. She just jumped right in
Yeah.
there. It was like, but she wasn't going to help at all either.
No.
So she was also an elderly lady.
I sat and like
Opened your book.
I
Yes.
I held her
Yeah.
head, sort of.
Oh,
Down.
Stay down.
Yeah, you see an awfully lot of people end up by the train tracks. I
Wait
think
a
you need to
minute.
think you may be pushing them.
I think so. I'm like tanning people and pushing them on the tracks.
It's funny because you always think like in last moments like that or moments like that, you're going to be the hero.
I
You're going to be
know.
the one. But it's the same thing with last words. Like everyone thinks their last words
You
are going to
have-
be cool.
do you have yours planned?
No, but I'd like it to be like, I'll follow you into the night, brother, or something. But
Why you all of a sudden have an accent?
something, you know.
This is after he spent 16 years in Glasgow.
Yeah, killing orcs or
Yeah.
something, you know. But if you ever look at like video footage of plane crashes that people
Yes.
survive, no one, it's just screaming and going, "Oh God!" Like everyone's last words are, "Oh fuck, no, please! It's my sister on the tracks."
It's my sister. But she was explaining to me because I was like, "What?" I looked at her like, "What are you doing? Why are you jumping down as well?"
She's like, to save
She was
a
like,
human
"It's my
being.
sister," and then yeah,
Yeah, this doesn't really make any sense.
Have you ever saved anybody?
saved? No.
Killed? Been responsible for their
been
death?
responsible. Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no, you jump out. Like I remember seeing a car crash once, and you jump out of the car to go see what happened, and then you're like, so many people here. Never mind, I'm out.
right.
You know, they got it covered.
I was once on the highway and I saw like a car in the ditch and like, fumes or something like that. And I remember being like, what am I supposed to do? My mom's like, we should call the police. And I was like, okay. And I called the police. I never really talked to the police. I'm like, they're like, hello, like, I want to speak to the highway people. Like, okay. I'm like, okay, what's your thing? I was like, oh, I'm around this part. And I saw a car and the fucking person on the other line gave me the biggest sass and was like, yeah, we know about it. And hung up on me.
Oh, wow.
It's been called in.
Yeah. And I was like, okay,
Oh my god.
fine.
You're not the first hero today, bud.
Get in
my
line.
Thanks for your
God.
phone call. Maybe try pulling over
Yeah.
next time.
Wow.
I was surprised on that response.
So now you'll never call 911 again, no matter
Never,
what.
never.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I prank call them sometimes just to like waste their resources.
I
Looking-
remember.
Looking for that one lady.
Yeah,
I've done like I'm a pretty like pushovery type person, but as far as animals go, I've done. That's when if there's like a dog in a car,
You'll break the window?
I will go to every store nearby and be like, "Whose dog is in a car?" Because they're more helpful.
Have they ever come forward and been like, "That's mine"?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, "Do you know how hot it is today, sir?"
It's
That's
like
as scary as I get.
You bring out your app. 27 degrees. It's very
Yeah.
hot.
Baby in a car? Meh.
baby.
Just kidding. Dog in a car. Big.
But nobody leaves their baby in the car anymore, do they?
No, that's a
80s,
US
90s.
thing. Yeah, that's true.
You
I
can't
think-
blame them though, right? If you think you're just going to be a quick second.
Right. How hot is it in this little
Well,
scenario
to do
we're
it,
painting?
yeah, to run an errand, like it's a quick errand. Like
Yeah.
you can't blame someone for like
Leaving it.
Going for a tan.
not
Yeah.
tan. That tan's 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Things can get really hot in 15 minutes. Just ask our man Carson over here. That Mexican sun will crisp you up, and our boy Bert will
Yeah.
not.
But if you crack a window for a dog or keep the AC on, that's okay.
The baby, yeah.
The baby, no.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, you can't do that anymore. No good.
Well, yeah, you'll be filmed though. They'll
Yeah.
like not only will you,
They'll wait for you to come back and be like,
they'll still let the dog die because they'll just follow
Yeah.
you with the camera to be like, look,
Yes.
look what this piece of shit.
Or
did.
like, I'm a hero, and the dog's
yeah,
already
smashes the
dead.
window. The back seats are all open windows.
Yeah.
Gotta get those legs.
What's the worst injury you ever had? Anything? And
Yeah, I jumped off a diving board straight onto my face.
was it ice?
Was it?
No.
Did you
I was
miss
like,
the pool?
Yeah, I missed the pool
Did
completely.
you go at an angle?
I missed the pool completely. It was like 4 or 5, and
Years ago?
yeah, I was trying to learn to jump off the diving board,
Oh.
and you know how you run and jump, but then I chickened out last second
Oh.
and jumped towards the side of the pool
Oh.
because I got so scared in the midway. But I missed the side, went down into the pool, half my body, and my face smashed against the concrete there. Opened up my mug, and I had to sew it.
Like your chin?
Yeah, my whole chin is just like it's just squirting blood.
Yucks.
I had to have that all sewed up nicely.
That's a big kid one. Like coffee tables,
Mm.
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I tripped on a hose once upon a time. I had this thing split.
And then
You tripped on a hose?
And then did she get pregnant after?
Oh, a hoe? Well, this is the eyebrow. Everyone just left alive. I think it's because like I was looking today in the mirror. I was like, I don't know if I can grow a mustache, and I think it may be from this little thing. Don't
Oh.
look too closely.
I don't feel like I grow anything.
Maybe
in
it's
the
just
middle thing.
coincidence.
I think that part just it can't grow.
After Hitler died, it's impossible to grow it there. Just in case anyone else was a little too inspired.
That is how I
Everyone is thinking it.
show support.
That's how you stand.
Yeah.
Can you grow a full beard?
No, I got I got crabgrass beard at best. It's coming like all over the place.
But you can do a
Crabgrass.
mustache.
No, it's bad. It's bad.
If you murdered somebody,
It's like Keanu Reeves light. That's how bad it is. But it's patchy.
so you'd have a hard time. Like, have you had to change your look
If
to
you
try and avoid like the fugitive? He shaves off the beard.
literally say
Yeah.
the fugitive as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, be a fake mustache. Just
Every day you're painting this thing on.
Yeah.
It's the Hitler mustache though.
Real
Everyone's
murder.
staring.
Fake mustache.
Yeah, I do the LeBron James and just like spray paint that beard on.
Oh yeah,
Can you get hair transplants for your face?
Yeah, you can.
you can.
Oh,
And-
yeah. You go to
and-
Turkey, you get that
Yeah.
pull right out the back of your head, put that on your face, full beard now.
You pull it from the crown though, so it makes you bald, but you've got a great beard.
A new thing I've seen is like guys getting the hairline tattooed.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're just like, I shaved it today. But like really they can't grow anything.
Really?
It looks like
Mm.
it's like a yeah.
I've seen that, and it looks cool. But then what if you're sick of the buzz cut?
Yeah. Or if people are like, why don't you grow your hair? You're like, I don't want to, but like, cause you can't.
Yeah, because it's a
I
tattoo.
don't wanna.
Yeah.
If you had to do one plastic surgery, what would you get?
Probably the hair transplant,
Yeah, just
not the tattoo one. Just thicken that baby up a little bit more. Take a couple things from the bag.
I'd get on a stretch machine.
You get a little taller.
Yeah.
Can you get a-
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I followed an account once. Saw the journey of some guy who went from like 5'5" to like 6.
You
No,
did?
that's
Yeah.
5 inches. You get
Yeah.
5 inches of leg.
Did they have to break his legs? And
Yeah,
they did.
yeah, and
Put
it
metal?
looked fucking awful. Like I don't think being 5 inches taller would be worth it at all. You have to spend a long time recovering, and your muscles aren't long enough to do it, right? So they have to like strength, like
It's like a
lengthen your
crank,
muscles.
right?
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
I don't
Stretch-o-matic.
need it in the legs. I want it in the torso. Can they do that?
Yeah, you just break
yeah.
your
They have to
back
break
over
your
again.
spine
Fine.
open.
Yeah, the spine much safer than the knees.
Yeah.
What movie is someone put? Is it Superman or Princess Bride or something? Where he's put on like a
Yeah, you know, Princess Bride when he's the pit of despair.
yeah. He's some
When they
kind
have
of stretch.
stretch him out.
And they make them long.
Well, no, it's more torture than anything else. Yeah,
But
yeah.
as
they
a
don't-
kid, I was like, I didn't see it as torture. I was like, huh. Like I thought it was
Like this is not a bad
That's like
plan
a-
if I don't get to the height I want to be.
It's probably nice for a hot second where it's like a bit of a stretch. Where you're like, oh, this is kind of nice. Takes all the stress off of the joints. But
But
then,
yeah, 1 second.
yeah, well, yeah.
Any torture feels nice for 1 second.
I
yeah.
wouldn't say every-
Waterboarding, you're like, oh, refreshing.
You're like,
I did want some water.
Upside down?
Too much.
This is way too much. I should have done all these crimes.
Okay, you want to hear my worst injury?
No, we've moved on from that.
No, we're good.
No, I like okay because I've had 5 concussions and
That's too many.
yeah, but my worst one was probably I was playing basketball and I ran headfirst into a garage door as one does.
Mm-hmm.
Made the basket though.
I didn't. I got the ball away from like some neighborhood man. I was 25
Street
though, so it's
tough.
not. Yeah, and then I have a little scar up here, and my head exploded. Like it was like I was shot in the face. I was unconscious.
Blood.
Like I woke up and was like,
I'm late. I'm
and
late.
it was I'm late, I've got to go to school. Yeah, it was everywhere, and then they couldn't freeze it, and I had to like they sewed it back together, but it was so bad. And if I tap right here because it was whiplash too. If I tap right here, I can still feel it
Back there?
here and here. It's like a
nerve thing.
it was nerve
But
damage.
you were running so fast though.
I was fucking fast. Yeah, so it looked like I broke my neck, like people that saw it from behind. So here, and here, like if I do that, why am I doing it? It goes like wah, 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 wah.
Wow.
Mhm.
My brother and his friends were playing baseball in our basement, like not real baseball, but like they would set up the
Yeah.
place you could run. They had like a wiffle ball or something, but they had a real bat. And he's my brother's 10 years older than me, and I don't remember this at all. But apparently, I wanted to like be a part of it, and so I ran behind the person who was at bat, and on a backswing, cranked me right in the face, right in the forehead.
Blood?
I don't know.
I had the same injury in a target. My brother was practicing swinging a bat, and I came around the corner, and he was doing full swings, and I came
my
around the
God.
corner of the other aisle to be like holding I got the gloves, and just boom, like I was
Forward swing?
like I was a bad guy that he was trying to kill or something.
Oh my God!
And-
That's some Home Alone level.
It was Home Alone. I was Joe Pesci being like, "I'm gonna get you," boom in the face, and
You
I just
little jerk.
yeah.
Blood?
Oh, that's the thing. I remember holding my hands, and when you're a kid, you always say like, "Is it bleeding?" And your friend's like, "No," and then you're instantly relieved. And I just remember going. My mom was there too, and I was like, "Is it bleeding?" And she was like, "Yes." And I looking at my hands, and it was that deep purple blood.
yeah.
And then it was just like walking through the store, and just everyone staring at us because this child is just bleeding from the face, deep purple blood.
Yeah.
But your skull, fine.
I guess. I mean,
So that really just says that your brother's got a weak arm.
yeah, and that's why he never made the majors. You know, Aaron Judge would have killed me.
No follow through.
How many stitches
Well, I was too much of a coward.
to get to stitches?
Yeah, so they put me down on the stitch at the doctor, and I was just like shaking, trying to dodge the stitches. Because you're right, they can't freeze
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Shuck and
So they can't
jive.
freeze your face?
Boom, boom.
Certain parts of the head they can't. Yeah, and they bring like a cosmetic
Surgeon?
seamstress.
She's busy making their doctor's uniforms in the back, but then when she has 10 minutes.
She's like, yeah, I can do a head.
Yeah, but the needle, they were trying to do the freeze needle, I think, even, and I was too scared of that. And so then they just put a butterfly bandage on it, like, he's going to have a scar.
Mhm.
And then I did have a scar. And like in grade 6, they called me Harry Potter. But I was a big Harry Potter fan, so I was like, this isn't bullying.
Yes.
I love Harry Potter, right?
Into the bit.
Leaned into it a bit, yeah.
Nothing sends a bully running more than agreeing with them.
Yeah. Then they'll find something else to hurt you with.
Like their fists.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, concussions were a huge thing. So I grew up in Ottawa, a lot of ice.
No, yeah, slip and falls.
Everybody falling.
Good place to be an attorney.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw somebody coming out of McMaster's, the university I went to. It had yeah. When? What year did you graduate?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
2007.
2007. Oh, okay.
We went to Harvard. Enjoy your McMaster.
So somebody was coming out of the main medical
Yep.
building, and so there's a hospital on the campus, and they walked out. They slipped on the ice and they walked right back in.
They limped right back in behind.
Yeah, they
Wow.
cradling their arm.
God.
They clearly broke their arm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I don't know what they had just been like, survived. Like,
This is the
finished
first
like-
day of the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Woke up from a
God.
coma.
Oh my god. But that's a student hospital. I remember like whatever happened while I was going to Mac. Like, yeah, if you go to that hospital, you just walk right in. But there's always students
Working.
working, and then they ask, "Can the student do whatever?"
Can the student do the heart surgery?
Yes. Like, I remember my roommate had they thought she had appendicitis, and just they were checking her every hole she had. And the students were just in there taking notes, doing pokes and prods. They're learning.
Yeah.
They are learning.
Every hole, like.
Yeah. I was telling Ian this before, but I did standardized patient work.
Yeah.
And that was, you feel bad for like people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're just like asking you random questions. So you're like, you have this like backstory on what your fake illness is,
The
right?
case,
And-
yeah.
You do like that like the Seinfeld job that
100%.
Mickey and Kramer would
Yeah,
do. That
100%.
So
go
you-
and pretend like you have these ailments and these symptoms.
Yeah.
They hire
You really-
actors to do a good job, right?
Yeah, and they hire actors to do
And you're
the
not
job.
supposed to give them hints,
And you-
right?
No, they give you a list of like, if they ask you this question and these keywords, you can say these
yeah.
answers. But if they don't say it, you can't say anything. And so like some of them will be like, they'll be like nice looking people and they're happy or whatever, but they just for whatever reason can't like get to the fact that like, your character is like falling and hit their head on something. And so they don't ask you any concussion questions. And so it's just like 10 minutes of them being like, so what does this feel like? And you're like, it feels fine. And do you have you been sleeping?
How much do you drink during the day?
Yeah, and
And
you're
it's
like,
it's not
It's
relevant.
a regular amount.
Doctor charades,
Yeah.
just like
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
Or they.
Do you ever try and feed them a little answer? And be like,
I've done it.
I
before,
would
too,
have
yeah.
I thought I would be like that, but a key line of thinking was like, I don't want this person being a doctor.
You
If
don't
they
want to
can't
send them out
pass
there.
the test. I don't want them being my doctor. I don't want them being someone else's doctor.
That's a good, yeah.
right.
You were like the final boss of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And if
You
it's their
better know
exam
this
too.
stuff.
Right? Yeah. So like,
So you made it extra hard on them. You're like, no, that doesn't hurt actually.
Did you ever have any like Doctor House, like whiz, someone came in like appendicitis? Like right away they
Right
could
off
tell
the
like
top.
you got jaundice in the eyes.
and I'm like, that's not me. And then the person's like, oh no, you do.
What if, has that ever happened where somebody like got actually diagnosed?
Yeah, so I used
Oh.
to do it as well. And you get
Side
extra
story,
money.
if that's not real, that's an amazing episode
I know.
of a TV show.
Yeah.
If
I think it happens
Chuck Lorre is still listening, I know he was here earlier.
That's right up his alley.
Yeah.
Like,
Chuck Lorre.
It's a really funny
2-man
3-camera comedy.
but you get extra money if you agree to like.
Actually get examined.
Yes, I was just pointing at my boobs, but that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and so there's a girl that I worked with. She did the breast exam and they found a lump.
No way.
Yeah, and it was and he was like confused. He thought like, oh, is this part of it? Like
Did they plant this in?
Yeah, or was it just like a benign thing that?
Are these boobs just so small I can't tell?
Yeah, is this part of it? Yeah, and then they were like, you should go get that checked, and then they brought in her professor, and then
the whole class came in.
Yeah,
Checked every hole.
yeah. And she's like, it's here. No, yeah, I'm sure it happens a lot.
I mean, the positive side of this should be that she should, before she gets any treatment, go back and they should do this is what it actually feels like for there to be
Yes.
something. Like, here's positive reinforcement for what it feels like to actually feel something, because the opposite can only be so educational. Like, if you have 1,000 negative results, you're only building so much knowledge, but you need a positive result to
To
compare
actually
that
know
to.
what it is.
Yeah.
Get the whole class to line up. They come in one by one
Yeah.
and do this breast exam.
And it was an ultrasound technician exam,
Oh,
and then
interesting.
but there's the physician is there for whatever they're being ultrasounded for,
Right.
and yeah, apparently he found it and then was like, and then looked,
That would be so terrifying to
I
be the
know.
patient and
Yeah.
you see them gasp.
yeah, and he was like, there's a.
I hate how ultrasound techs. I mean, I know it's like a liability thing. They're not allowed to
Yeah.
tell you anything.
Yeah.
But like, you're already nervous. You're getting the thing done, and you're like, "So does it look good?" And they're like, "Your physician will call you in a
Yes.
couple weeks." And you're like,
Yeah.
You're trying to read
But-
their eyes and
Yeah,
try to read
yeah.
the tone of their voice. Is it? Like, but
Do they look
but when you
sad?
see anything, what do you got there?
"I notice you're sobbing and saying, how
Yeah.
old are you?" So young to yourself.
I know. I noticed you're giving a resignation letter to your.
It's like, I can't do this anymore than pointing at me and then buying skydiving lessons.
Yes.
So you can live life to the fullest.
I would never skydive.
Not even if you had terminal cancer?
No. I would indoor skydive tomorrow.
So
I
what's
just can't
what's
afford it.
indoor skydiving?
They blow a bunch
Oh,
of air
yeah.
up at you, and you never get like more than 10 feet
Oh,
off
like
the
that
ground.
tunnel.
Yeah.
flying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think they have one in Mississauga, like iSky or
Yeah, they do.
iFly.
Did they sponsor? I always feel like you're a sleeper cell sponsor. You're always bringing up some
Anyways,
brand.
iFly in Mississauga. If you want to, and you throw on that Batman suit,
Yeah.
and you
that
hop
was cool.
in the tube, and you just do a couple flipperoos.
Yeah.
That seems more fun. I think someone
Definitely.
busted their back though, like
Sure.
because the wind's coming at you so much, and you're kind of like
Mach
holding
one.
that air, just you just-
Fold like a pancake.
Yeah, fold in the opposite direction of
Oh.
how your back's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It feel good for a second though.
Yeah,
For a second,
And
it's
eat
a
your
stretch.
Like the stretch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think if you jumped off a building, you'd
Yes.
feel it for the second? Like the impact for the last second of your life? Do you think you'd feel the
Definitely.
cement?
Definitely.
Oh, I thought you were
Definitely.
gonna say.
As somebody who has run full tilt into a concrete
Yeah.
beam,
Did
definitely.
you felt your nose before it hit the skull?
I
then
felt-
you tasted metal.
I felt the side of my head in immense pain, and then I woke up on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mm.
If you were falling from that height, would you? And you're probably gonna die. Would you consciously try and go head first, so you can only go skull crushed dead, or would you want to go feet knee?
Oh, I
Feet
think
knee.
you'd want to do a swan dive head first.
Hmm.
Because if you're doing feet knee,
And
you're gonna feel your
swan dive, and fingers
shins-
crack, fingers, elbows, face smash.
This is a really small confluence of people who are committing suicide or being pushed off of a building,
Mhm.
and who have excellent
time.
skydiving technique that they can control this.
Great gymnast like air sense.
Well, you
Yeah.
got some time up there. Maybe it's you're jumping out of that plane. You don't have that parachute, and so you figure it
You're
out.
looking for
You're
a-
scared for a little bit, right? You're screaming your head off. What am I doing? What's happened? Oh no! And then you figure it out. Like, I got some time before I hit the ground.
You're
here."
looking for a bird to land on.
I'm looking for a pillow truck
Yeah.
because I know I've seen
Yeah.
enough movies to know they're
Is there
down
anybody
there.
coming to save you? You look back up at the plane. Nobody's coming for me. Are there any trees that I can hold on to? No, nothing. Just nothing but a bunch of ground coming. So you get to decide whether you're going to
Yeah.
go head first or feet first.
I would do the most comedic thing. I'd be like, whoa.
For like for a long time.
I think I
Whoever's
would.
watching.
I'd turn over and look up at the sky.
And have
just-
one final
And,
And
just,
you-
Oh.
as
look
your
up.
rib cage rips through
And
your
then you
body.
Fold. Yeah,
Yeah.
fold into a half.
I always thought if you were gonna commit suicide, which obviously if you're going through mental health, you should call somebody. But if you wanted to make it a little comedic,
Yes.
You rent like a mascot costume.
This is like
I've thought about this
starting
a
off-
lot.
It's like you starting off by being like, I'm not racist, but like,
But
I'm not saying you
this
should
guy
commit-
cut me off yesterday. And... No,
you should commit suicide, but if you wanted to make it all,
if I were to do it, and so if this ever happens, you guys ever see this on the news and you haven't heard from me in a few weeks?
right.
It's you.
It's
Yeah.
me underneath the suit.
The anchor is like, so like, was it suicide? Was it not? We see that this is the circumstances. Everybody knows.
You're
it
like, there was this podcast
Okay,
once.
right. All right.
I'm in a panda costume, like a big-headed mascot panda costume, and I jump out of an aircraft above a baseball stadium. So I'm gonna land right in the middle of it. So for the last like 5 seconds or something, people are pointing like, "What the fuck is that? Is that a panda?" And then everybody gets.
And you crush the picture.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hit anybody
Yeah.
else. I've thought about this every time
You
I've
land
gone to
on
a
the mound.
baseball game.
Why that animal?
It's a funny animal.
It's majestic.
It's
Or I-
well, they don't fly, so
They
people also immediately know something went wrong.
So let me get this straight. You are taking your life,
Yeah,
and then also simultaneously like ruining pandas for like all the children that are there, as well as the baseball game. Because they want to see who's going to win that
they're
game.
not gonna keep
Yeah.
playing, I guess.
But you're
Oh,
giving them a
goodness.
good story.
Because
You're
if it's an
also-
eagle or a dove or a pigeon, they'll be like something malfunctioned.
Yeah.
But the panda, their last thoughts are, how did this transpire?
Those are supposed to be in a zoo or in China.
Yeah,
Those-
Or what about like a big old moose?
that would
That's
work.
pretty Canadian.
That would work. Yeah, then they'd know I died a patriot.
Or a beaver.
You're
Or a
covering-
beaver.
You're covering yourself in a lot of stuffing. There's a chance you survive.
Yeah.
And
That
you
would be
just-
sick. And I get up and take a bow.
People
if
are
if
like-
I could survive, I'm doing this summer.
And you don't get in trouble because people are so
They're
impressed.
so impressed. They let me pitch and finish the game. I win the World Series. I'm
That's
here with a
new
ring.
Rookie of the Year pitch. Then that's a move.
Panda man.
Is that still a thing where people get banned from
If you go streaking or jump on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a guy in my high school
You
who
also get arrested. and
yeah, he ran the
charged.
bases
Yeah.
and he got banned forever.
They also kick the shit out of you on the sideline. Like
Oh, really?
they're pretty mad about it. Sometimes the players will even run and tackle you really hard.
Yeah, this guy, he just did high fives and then
He was the hero of the moment.
yeah, and then I remember like on Monday at school, everyone was like, he ran the bases. And then people were like, don't worry, we'll bring your children to the Sky Dome. Like, because he's banned forever.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like you're the coolest person in school. You also have a criminal record now, and you
Yeah.
can never leave the country.
But how do they know forever? Is your
right.
name picture?
Sure, both of those things, but when you buy a ticket or whatever, somebody else can buy it. They don't check your ID. You
Yeah.
just walk in. I assume
You could get in.
maybe, yeah. I don't think there's a way to enforce it.
That'd be my only goal. If I was banned, I'd be like, no,
I'm getting
wanna
back
I'll
in.
be back next week.
And you
Yeah.
do the same stunt every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Just
you-
the villain of baseball.
If you were arrested, what kind of mugshot would you have though? Would you do a smiling mugshot?
What kind of crime did I do?
Yeah.
You streaked the bases. You did. You jumped out of a plane, landed in the middle
And
of it,
li-
came along.
Oh, I'm smiling in that mugshot.
Yeah. I'd be like
Guilty or not? You
I'd
be
be
the
like
judge.
the cutest little scamp if that's allowed.
And it's like underneath,
all-
it's like
I
she
think
killed
it's all
19
allowed.
people.
Yeah. I'm a serial killer. Like, oops.
Oops, did I or didn't I?
You have a little ink on your fingers with the fingerprint
Yeah,
in it as well.
exactly.
They're less stringent than the driver's license people.
It's
Like,
the passport people that are
They let you do
really-
whatever you want.
yeah,
That's what
driver's
people-
license is like
No
take a photo,
smiling.
like no smiling. Less, you're like
You're
less.
like,
Yeah.
you look too serious.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know why can't you smile in a driver's license? Like, are you?
Because traveling people can't be smiling.
You can't be happy.
No, you can't be happy about going into
But it's not
another
like your
country.
face changes that much from a smile.
Do you think?
Yeah, like you look bad both ways.
Whoa, who's sitting over there? Oh, hey, whoa, who's it? Oh, well, right.
Yeah, you're right. It is an odd thing.
Did you know portraits? Like we always smile for a photo, right? It used to be that you don't do that because most people, when you look at them, aren't smiling. Most of the day, they're just regular face.
Which may be a bigger problem.
But like if you do a photo, everybody would sit down and you'd all not smile. And it was because smiling for the photo didn't represent you. Most of the day you're not smiling.
Yeah.
Well, that's only because you wouldn't get the photo back to like 3 months later, and then they would look at it and be like, "Oh, this doesn't look great. I should have been smiling. I should have." They
Can't
didn't
do a
realize that
reshoot.
you don't have the instant feedback of what looks
Right,
better.
right.
Otherwise, they all be sitting there with the
Right. And also you had to sit there for like 10 minutes, I think, too.
well, like even though
So-
like the duck face wasn't a thing until 10 years ago.
until
as
Pringles
well.
came out.
Yeah. It is weird though. We have this amazing device that can capture the moment, and like if people are laughing and having fun, it's like, no, line up and smile, and then we do this like fake
Yeah.
smile thing. Like you're right, we should just capture whatever it is. No one should give any warning to photos, is what you're saying.
I
agree.
miss the like real pictures and getting them back and being like, oh my god, and like your mom blinked in every single one.
Right, and there's red devil eyes.
Yeah. Be like, I remember my mom being like, damn it, like in every picture she blinked, every single one.
Yeah.
Like she'd be like, okay, and close her eyes like right as we took.
Which is actually a harder skill to nail that second.
I know. Yeah. Oh, Diane.
Like development days of photos. Do you ever have some sexy developed photos?
You ever, like had a pic? Oh, like that.
Yeah, there was one. I remember there was one slipped into our family pictures.
Your grandpa's dick just close up.
My grandpa just slipped
A
into
selfie.
It was a stranger's. Some of theirs got like mixed in, but I feel like the person that like
He's like, here's a little surprise
Yeah.
for you.
Right.
yeah, it was just a guy like saying like this and looking behind him, and it was just like his butt.
It's his mugshot.
Yeah.
Now that's a scam.
Yeah, it was
That's
just a butt. And he was
a little
he was
rascal.
real tan and had a white butt.
People used to get those things developed, like, but you know that the tech.
Yeah, you're not supposed.
It's the same people who are calling Chelsea to their
Yes,
room.
you're right.
Same people.
They want you to see.
They want you to see.
Yeah, yeah. If you got nudes on your old film
I
camera, you
know.
know.
It was a risk you had to take. You wanted the nudes.
Wait,
And-
you took you're saying your own nudes in there?
No, not my own nudes.
It's one of those like disposable cameras.
Yeah.
The wind. So you took a nude.
Someone
and then-
took one of your nudes,
Now, you had nudes developed of other people.
like
And
that you didn't know.
No,
I think you're talking about buying porn.
talking.
You know, when you
It
go to the
came
video
in a
store,
magazine?
you get those nudes.
Get them blown up by 8 by half by 11s, and you flip through your booklet of,
Of nudes.
nudes.
They come in that convenient plastic sleeve. Why were the porn magazines in the back row of the
Oh,
magazine
yeah.
center covered in a plastic sleeve?
For
Oh, because
jizz.
Jizz protection.
People were worried you'd be looking at it and
Yeah, you can't
immediately
because
come.
you can't open them. You can't crack it open and flip
Yeah.
leaf through the pages.
Do you guys remember how in the video store
So,
there
but,
was
like,
that?
they're
Oh,
okay
yes.
with you doing that with the other magazines though.
That's right.
Jerking
that
off
doesn't make any sense
Well,
to me.
those ones
You can
don't know
jerk
what
off
you're gonna
to-
get.
If
Yeah.
Time magazine all
if
you
you're-
want.
If you're coming in and being like, I want to like flip through this Time magazine, not interested. Put it
Right.
back, walk away, buy some gum, leave.
That's right.
They're like, I brought the Time magazine in, and that brought in the business. But the porn magazine, which people are gonna come in to just take a look see at, let's put that behind.
But it's because they want it so bad. You got to put a paywall in front of it.
Yeah, and they got.
This is
jizzy
why I don't
balls.
like people.
The
Paywall
porn still
society.
works like that.
Do they still sell porn in a convenience
There's
store?
like the subscriptions,
Yeah.
the better stuff you got to pay for.
But no, I mean in convenience
Oh.
store and the magazine rack.
There, some
I
of
don't know
the
if
like.
I've seen a magazine rack ever.
They still have the
Shoppers,
shoppers drug
yeah.
They still do it, but
Yeah?
I remember at a convenience store, like when I was a kid, we would like my brother and his friends and I, we would like hit one of like the porns down in the,
Like
just pretend that they all spilled.
and then we would run out of the store and it would be like it was usually Swink or Swank, I believe it was called,
Yeah.
and it would just yeah,
No, I was just gonna. Get that.
And it was-
that's Hillary Swank's
Yeah.
magazine.
and it would just sit in the aisle and we would watch like random like suburban people just walk in and have to step over the Swink.
jerk off real quick.
Yeah, or we would watch the guy who ran the store be like, and look
These
around and have to put
fucking
it,
kids.
and we
they
thought it
knocked
was,
over the swink
Yeah.
again.
and we thought it was so funny that he had to put it back.
Mm.
There was a guy in my town at a convenience store who would sell used Playboys.
Oh,
That's
They were way cheaper.
unnecessary information to add.
I
You
think
don't need to specify that they were used.
He must have read them
Oh,
first
yeah.
and like got his fill, and he's like, I could not possibly lose any more to this one.
yeah, I've seen them all.
And he was very loose with your ID, so that was I never saw a new Playboy that was a grown man.
What was the first porn you saw? Do you remember?
Porn video?
Yeah.
Porn video. Porn.
I don't.
Does it count like just masturbating to Jerry Maguire, the like 2-second sex
Oh, I'm
scenes?
sure the first thing I ever saw
Because
was
that
in,
is
like,
Jerry Maguire. I
the
mean,
like late
I
night,
buried the lead.
the late night cable TV like
Yeah.
Latin Lover.
Latin Lover.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that still?
I'm a recurring character on it. I finally booked it. I can't speak a lick of Spanish, but I can take my
doesn't
shirt off.
matter. Nobody asked you to speak in that show.
And also,
See, then
also there were like the Quebec channels that like would play in Ottawa. They would play porn.
Did you grow up in Ottawa?
But the first porn I saw, it was like late. I was like
25.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I was like 19 maybe. And it was called, oh, fuck, I don't remember.
XXX.
Oh, sorry. I remember. It was called Pumping Mounds.
Pumping Mounds.
Mhm.
What?
Good name.
Good
Yeah.
title.
So
Like,
And-
ski parody?
No, it was just boobs.
Hmm.
And the key thing for Pumping Mounds was a lot of cartwheels into a blowjob.
Okay.
What?
It's a bit of a gymnast.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and everyone,
Wow.
like every scenario would end in a cartwheel into a blowjob. And it was a convenience store called Jafar's in London, Ontario. And it had,
This is a hometown pornography.
yeah, and I would go to my friend's visit my
I'd
friend at
appreciate
Western, and it was the only porn in the store. And my friend got dumped by her
you
boyfriend.
could rent it
Yeah.
and then return it.
Yes, and we would just see it and be like, it's so weird that only Pumping Mounds is sitting there, and no one would talk about it. So
Was this a VHS?
it was a VHS, and like it was way in the back, and we bought it. My friend got dumped, and we were like, gotta cheer her up. So we bought like a bunch of chips, and we were like, can we please buy this? And he was like,
This is the biggest moneymaker in the store.
yes. And then we dug up like someone's grandma's VCR, and then we were
I thought you were going to say dug up someone's grandma. She didn't laugh at that, so we're like, we need a plan B.
and we were like, she was like, I don't want to leave my room. We were like, you're gonna feel better. Like, sit down. Here's your chips. Here's a drink. And she was like, and we were like, and we put on Pumping Mounds for her, and it cheered her up.
I have
It
so
cheered
many
up? That's
questions.
sweet.
So
What a wonderful
the scenario,
gift.
the pizza guy or whatever, he's there, and then someone cartwheels in the frame, and
Yes. So most of them were like, one of them was like a girl shows up and to talk about the whales.
to saving the whales.
Saving the
Is she
whales.
dressed like a cheerleader?
Nope, she's just wearing normal clothes, but like no bra and a shirt.
Right.
I'm in.
You've seen
Yeah.
it.
Go on.
This sounds interesting.
And he's like, he's like, what are you here for? And she's like, save the whales. And he's like, like presses her thing. And then he's like, come on in. I want to talk about the whales. And she's like, me too. And then,
Cartwheel.
but then
Yeah, I
there was
wanna
a lot
get
of
to the
cut,
cartwheel.
Then there was a cut to, like a time jump.
Right.
Oh.
And then cartwheel into the
Oh.
blowjob. And then another time, two people at a
Never
pool.
cartwheel out of the
My
blowjob.
favorite part about those videos is always how they like try and shoehorn in getting to the sex part. Like
Yeah, we don't
that
need-
conversation is the part of the thing that I want to know. Like,
Save the whales.
yeah, how do they go from save the whales to I'm gonna blow?
You're looking
you?
for action steps on how to save these whales.
Yeah.
No, I need to know
The seduction portion.
The
of it.
seduction portion. Yeah, I
that's-
don't want to just jump straight to it. I want to
No,
see.
no,
You
you want
need
to
a
be
little
seduced. You
foreplay.
want to be.
Yeah, I want to be.
I don't think you
seduced.
realize what porn is for.
It's like a
It was a
it's like a
story.
meditative thing, right?
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 dates, and
Yeah.
then maybe.
Meditation. That's what people keep saying.
I mean, surely someone's meditating to just audio of just porn.
Well, you must love the all the Love Is Blind and Love on Spectrum because you can see how they go from A to sleeping together.
Yes,
That's mostly foreplay. It's all just foreplay.
I do enjoy Love Is Blind. That's no joke.
What's the premise of that? They're blind?
Everybody on the show is blind.
Is that really it?
No.
Oh, because that would be an amazing show.
Well, they
it's-
can't
it's a-
see each other. Yes?
There's a wall
You're
between
familiar
the
with the term
dates.
blind dating?
Yeah.
That's what the show is.
This whole time I thought it was blind people falling in love, and I'm like, genius. Wish I thought of it.
Mm.
They have, like they meet just through a wall.
So
and
they're
they-
just chatting on the phone?
No,
Yeah.
just they're chatting to each other like as if we had a wall between us right now. So you can
It's just
hear
a
each
glory
other.
hole?
Yeah, there should be. And then it's supposed to be people that like are focused on looks and like haven't been able to
Mm.
find love.
It's like
and-
The Voice for
Yes.
dating.
Yes.
Yeah. But
And then
what's
they-
strange is like the order in which they do things.
Mhm.
They have to propose at the end of it.
If they want to date or leave the
Yeah, if they want to leave the pods, which is what they call this like dating area, to go to their honeymoon where they get to see them in person and get to develop
Mhm.
that physical
but
relationship.
they're not allowed to talk about what they look like.
Yeah, they're not. Well, they aren't supposed to.
Yes, but maybe they do it.
Yeah, they probably.
Did they ever hint at it?
Sometimes they do.
Yeah,
And
one
that-
guy was like, "Could I pick you up?" Like he's trying to like find out if they're overweight.
And then
Right.
they go back to the other gals and like, he was trying to figure out how much I weigh.
100%, yeah.
Oh.
Or how much hair do you have?
There was
things like
one
that.
guy who was trying to game the system. This is my favorite fucking episode. He gets dumped. He's like not gonna continue on, and he's like on the exit interview, and they're like, "So like, how bad do you feel or whatever?" And they cut to his reaction, and he's like, "Are we gonna start?
Are we
Yeah.
recording?
Are
Yeah.
we recording? Okay." And then he takes out water, puts it in his eyes, and then tears come out, and then he's like, "I'm devastated that she broke up with me," and
They left it in?
Yeah.
they left that in because it's like
Fuck you, yeah.
this guy.
You're a piece of shit.
It's wild that he did this.
And she
but
almost chose him. That's like her.
Yeah.
life partner.
And then like they filmed the like because they always come back, right? They always come back for like an extra episode reunion type moment, right? Where they get everybody back in together, and they all treat him normally because the episode hasn't aired.
They don't know.
They don't know that this guy's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Wow, villain.
Yeah, true villain.
But the earlier seasons, like a lot of them are still together because they genuinely,
Fell in love.
yeah. But now they are picking people that are like attractive, so it's like all of them are attractive. It's
So they could probably meet somebody outside
yes,
of it.
it's, and it's not like
You get a couple more uches up in there.
yeah, oh yeah, that guy. It's like could just be like you're not, but they still find reasons to not like each other. Like one guy's like she was wearing too much makeup. It's like this beautiful girl, and he's like our personalities are perfect, but she was wearing too much makeup, so I don't think it's gonna work out.
Everything about her was perfect.
Johnny USA? What was that guy's name?
Yeah, him. You watched it.
You've seen it all.
Oh, yeah.
Would you ever go on a reality show, a dating show?
No, that sounds terrible.
Are you
What if
dating
they'll pay
somebody
you-
right now?
Are we on a dating
No,
show
are you
right
on a dating? Are you dating somebody right now?
now?
Okay, well then that question makes sense.
No.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more dangerous if I'm like, so she's not watching.
But
What about?
have people tried to make you apply to like the Bachelor Canada and stuff like that? I feel like that they have.
We should campaign for that. Get Scott on the Bachelor Canada.
Is there a Bachelor Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now there's Bachelor in Paradise Canada.
Ooh.
Paradise,
What's the
Saskatchewan.
difference between the Bachelor in Paradise and Bachelor?
So you skip. Now they don't do Bachelor Canada anymore. They
'Cause
just
no
do
one
the.
wants to be-
No one wants to slip on the ice in Ottawa. The Bachelor broke his
Yeah.
arm.
You can only play hockey on a date so many times. So then they put you in Paradise, and then you're in
Like
the,
Hawaii or something.
It's just Muskoka. But you're in the Bachelor Nation, and then it's
Yeah.
a bunch of singles and like
Oh, they try and get you to.
make matches, and it's all the people that were rejected on their seasons.
Mm.
So it's like
Oh.
if you didn't get picked by the Bachelor or Bachelorette, they put you all on this island, and then those are the couples that last the most.
Did you watch a lot of The Bachelor? Can I ask you a question about it? How
Yes,
co-
ask me literally anything.
I've never watched a full season. I've never
Okay.
really watched a whole episode, but I don't ever see anybody being like, it's not for me. And they just leave. Like, he's not that great.
Well, because they've had to vet them, right? So many steps to
think
get them
it's-
Yeah,
off.
but like, how do you know
I
you're going to
think they're
like
in there
somebody
for
before
their
you...
career as well. They're just like, well, this is my 15
It's
minutes.
part
I
of
gotta-
it.
Right, but that's what I don't get about the concept of the show is that there should be somebody.
Like
who's
somebody sees The Bachelor and goes, I don't like
It's
his
because-
tattoo of his fake hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because the way they do it is like the person who's the Bachelor came second place on the Bachelorette, so people have
Oh, we
watched
know
him
them.
and feel bad for
Right.
him, and they think they're in love with him already.
And fame makes them a little bit more attractive anyway, so
So
they're
then-
already like, I gotta
Yeah.
wife
They're
this
in,
guy
they sign
up.
up for them. It's like, I'll.
Yeah, and
They
then
hear
whoever-
that they're going to be the Bachelor. Like, that's the person for me.
Yes,
Right, I
Then
would
they
have married him.
Then they apply, and it's like whoever he doesn't choose, whoever's like the most popular,
But doesn't get it.
and then the men.
That's always in The Bachelor. It's always someone we know.
yeah, very
Oh.
rarely that they start from scratch. It's always like third place,
A
second
spin-off
place.
show.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Right.
My friend from my high school was on one season, and she had a boyfriend at home. And she did it. We're not friends anymore. It's fine. And she did it just to like work on her like acting career. I don't think.
I really
And
don't
he had
see
to
the
watch this thing?
connection.
And her
but
like
she
make
didn't-
out with this guy.
She didn't do anything more than like kiss him, but she got like sixth place and was like,
That's
"Okay."
pretty good.
She got on Bachelor in Paradise.
Right.
Was out early.
And his boyfriend's just sat at home, watching his girlfriend just try to flirt with his.
Yeah.
My old roommate, his girlfriend got on
Her
Bachelor.
daughter, that
No.
cousin.
Yeah.
No, it's horrible. It's bad for him. Great for her. Helped her career.
Yeah.
She went on Big Brother Canada, and they'd just broken up as she went on. And at the time, it was when they were first launching. Like you could pay to watch them 24/7.
Oh, right. The live feed.
The live feed.
Mm.
And so he paid, and she famously gave a hand job on the live feed to
I-
another contestant, and he had to
I
watch it.
Know who you're talking about because I watch Big Brother.
And she's a dear friend. She follows me on Twitter still.
Well,
Is your
it
different?
happens. And like in the house, you're I don't know, lonely and
Yeah, you're horny. You're on the show. You just came
They're
out of a
feeding you
relationship.
booze, asshole?
I don't blame her. It's like, hey, you were
Oh.
attracted to this person. You're on this show.
Uh-huh.
It was more my friend paying for the live stream, being like,
Yeah.
oh, this is my worst
Yeah.
nightmare.
That's the worst decision ever.
the
To pay for
showmans.
that?
To pay for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably true. To be
And
like,
That's
parent-
just
so they
hitting
put the
yourself in
covers-
face. See, that's the type of torture you don't.
They put the
you
covers
don't
up
get
and over
better.
their bodies
You
and
enjoy
their
that for a
hands,
second.
but then you just see the sheets going.
Yes.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, you did see it.
I've seen all the seasons.
Yeah.
You've seen the show where it's like if you hook up, you lose money or whatever it is.
Too hot to handle.
That's
We've
the-
talked about it,
It's a good show.
It is a good show. There's some hot people on.
and I'm blown away that
I just find it very funny that they just figure out that you can have like an emotional connection with people before you say have sex with them.
They're
It's like-
teaching them
Yeah, they literally teach them how to.
The workshops.
Yeah, the workshops are very funny.
that you don't have to. That's so funny because it's like it should just feed into Teen Mom. It should just be a spinoff. Like,
Yeah.
if you're on a show where you're so horny you can't not fuck the other people in the
Yeah.
room, I know where that leads.
And then they eventually earn the little bracelet, and if they have a connection, it goes green, and then they're allowed to like kiss her.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like prison.
Yeah.
It's
Like
like
Prison
Squid
Break.
Game or something for kissing. I think that, and you said sometimes people get kicked off for masturbating on that show.
No, they deduct points, or not points, but money from
pool,
the
yeah.
giant pool.
It'd be
And
so
with every
embarrassing.
little
kinda
sexual
wanna go on
encounter.
that
One
show.
guy, so it drains everybody's money.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be on there as a villain, and I'm just
Yeah,
like
that's what
jerking
I
off
was
That's the
everything.
thing. Everybody who does that
Calls them out.
they get called out, but those are the ones that always.
How do you get kicked off the show?
Make it further. You don't get kicked.
It's
well,
not
you
a
get
vote?
kicked off the show if you don't start pairing up with people. So if you're not like
So if you're just jerking off the whole time,
exactly
You
like
don't
you gotta
care.
get out
you're
of
just
here.
making a grilled cheese in the corner, not
Yeah.
flirting with anybody, so relaxed.
But it's also like the threat of being like a social pariah. Like if everyone hates you because you keep making out with someone that you don't like and you're losing money, eventually they stop doing it because they don't want to like disappoint the people that they're with sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh.
But they all lose that money right off the top. They're all going after it. But then the
And they
people
sleep
that
in the same beds.
yeah, they sleep in
In the same room.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think you could be, if you were on a reality show, any of you, would you be the villain, or would you end up just like being your real self and trying to win the thing? Could you be the villain? It may be harder to
I would be
The villain is the person normally who's just like trying to patrol people having sex. I mean, like, don't you?
but not
guys
even on
touch
this
each
show, on
other?
any show, Survivor.
There was a show called The
Russell.
Mole.
yeah.
There was a show called The Mole. There was a show called The Mole, and it was one actor was the mole, and everybody else was a real contestant trying to win money.
He
And you had to
sabotaged.
go and do things, and the mole would try and sabotage things. So it'd be like, let's carry, these 500 bricks from over there to over here, and then the mole would accidentally drop some along the way or whatever, right?
And then wouldn't they notice that that's the mole?
So, but then like the things are hard enough that like sometimes people fuck up and they just drop shit,
Right.
right? So it's like the mole is trying to like ride that edge, right? Of like
Oh.
looking like they're trying to help and fucking things up. Or sometimes they'll just straight up help, right? Throw suspicion
Yeah.
off them.
Yeah, be the best. You make it all the way to the final, and you just reveal.
Right.
Some of them tend to feel guilty, being like, I felt guilty like messing up the money fund in this challenge because you get to know all the people and like feel bad.
Do the
Yeah.
mole, if the mole makes it all the way, they win too? Is that the idea?
I think they're just like at
Or
least
they're
in the first season they weren't like, and the mole got this much money because they sabotaged and then they get that money. I think they were just paid to be there.
Right, they're just part of the production
Yeah.
team, kind of.
But I really think it should have been like the mole earns the money that they sabotage from the
Yeah.
other people.
That'd be
More
cool,
incentive.
right?
Does the audience know? Yeah, they know right away who the mole is.
No,
Or you're
they
guessing
don't.
who the mole is.
You're
too?
guessing the whole time.
Oh,
Yeah.
And they have to do a quiz at the end of the episode, like as thinking who the mole is in your head, and you answer questions about the day, like how much did the mole like eat at lunch? How much did this? And then whoever gets the most questions wrong is eliminated because you know the least about who the mole is.
Oh, you're the
Yeah.
worst like mole spotter.
Which, to be fair, was, in my opinion, a really weird way to do
Yeah.
things because nobody knew who the mole was until the end
Yeah.
episode when they said so. So it was all just people guessing.
Right.
Every episode, people were like, I think it's that person. They were wrong. But they
If
were
you
just
ever
less
see me on
wrong
the
than
mole, I'm the mole.
I'm not going on there unless I'm the mole.
Yeah, I made it very clear.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get paid no matter what.
I feel like you would be. I think I've told you this before that you would be good on a reality show because you.
I would be hired for the mole, and they would not tell me that I was the mole. I would just be the worst.
You're dropping
at every
bricks all the
single
time?
Thing. It would be
You
funny.
win
like,
because
"Oh,
everyone
it's
guesses
him,
you're the
it's
mole every
him."
time.
Yeah.
And you're like,
But people probably do that. Like they try to act like the mole so that people think it's them,
right, to
and
throw them
Yeah.
off the scent.
They did do that.
Is that it's a Canadian show?
No, America.
Shot right here in Toronto.
What?
No, it was, I don't
Oh.
know.
But they did have that one, Blown Away, that was shot out in Hamilton. That was a huge hit. It's the,
The
glass
blowing
con-
thing.
It's
That was
the-
in Hamilton.
What?
Eh?
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh yeah.
Blowing away?
Blown away.
Blown away.
Oh.
Because it's glass blown.
like they blow glass and it's really fucking cool. It's beautiful. It's like
But that's a reality show?
no, it's an art competition show.
Yeah,
right?
no
like,
one's having
like
sex.
Bake Off.
Yeah, I'm
or-
out.
Bake
But
Off.
it looks
or
like
Face
someone
Off
could
or-
burn their hands with some glass, so that
Yeah.
was pretty dangerous there.
Yeah.
Okay, I've just thought of this in real time.
You mean a thought?
I've never had one. Blowing away inspired me. 12 porn stars
Yeah.
looking for love. They all understand the industry. they have to do shoots the whole time that we also sell on the premium site.
Mm.
So by the end, they've all worked together, but they're trying to find love.
Mm.
It's not a perfect pitch.
It's like whose boner's real,
who's the mole?
whose is an injection.
There's just one pink one that's 15 inches.
Yeah, who's on Viagra, who's getting a genuine boner.
Right.
Just think about it. If you guys want to invest, I'm open to
I'm
it.
down. If love, it happens in the end.
Yeah, we can guarantee it.
Yeah, that's the wonderful thing. You're always hoping for love. You always hope they find love.
What is the record of Bachelor contestants who actually stayed together more than a couple years?
The
0%.
Bachelorettes stay longer with the ones they choose. The Bachelors
Oh.
less so.
That's
But 2 Bachelors had a second place girl that they sent home and then changed their mind,
And then went and found them again.
and then they're still with them.
Called them up. But
did the producers get footage of that?
That second place person then would have gone on to be the Bachelor,
Normally, yeah.
and so then they decided, no, I'd rather be in love with this
Yeah.
person.
So the bachelor's got to go and like get them before they sign the contract for the next one.
Yeah, or
But
usually a third place one.
Doesn't it make you think though, like
I know.
that they're like for 25 people to be on the show or whatever, and that the one ends up as your soulmate? Like, doesn't that show maybe you're a schmuck? Like, it's a little too easy to fall in love.
Hmm.
I
Or is it
don't
the
know.
opposite that like people are way too picky in regular life?
But they
Whoa.
picked
Take any random 25 people and you could probably spend
And you
your
can
life
find your
with them.
soulmate.
Yeah.
and they picked
or like
them
someone
based
enough
on-
to hang
yeah.
out with for the rest of your life.
There was
Right.
something like if you have like if you
It's
had
so
like
romantic.
That's what we gotta get Scott on the
Yeah,
Bachelor.
you'll be fine.
there's something that like if you have 48 people or something in a room, you have the same birth. There's likelihood that 2 people have the same birthday, the exact same day.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that is, but I bet you it's something similar for love. Like if you have 15
Falling in
people
love
in
the
a
same
room,
as having been born on the same day.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you have 15 people in a room, it's probably like 2 people are probably good enough to.
It's like
spend
high
their
school
lives together.
sweetheart, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, you went to school with that person, you just happen to be born in the same year. It's like, yeah, good enough.
But they also pick based on like your type, parent. Like, and like you can tell, like this current season, it just started and it's all brunette women.
Oh, it's
Or-
catered to the
or
Bachelor.
women of color. Yeah, there's no like not a blonde in sight because obviously what he wants is not.
He's like, look, I'm not marrying a blonde.
Yeah.
Under any circumstance.
Yeah, so they're all
Can you lie about it?
maybe. So
Oh, wait, we're just shooting yourself in the foot then.
yeah, you're not gonna make out in a hot tub.
I say I'm going on The Bachelor and I'm being
Right.
the villain.
You're like, put it
Well, I
in
guess they could
6'5"
know who the
NBA
Bachelor
player.
was, and then dye their hair if they wanted to
That's
get on there.
true.
Pretty...
Does anyone ever lie on Love is Blind where they're like, hey, are you 6'8"? And he's like, little taller. And
They-
then when they reveal themselves, no, they're not.
They don't ask questions like
They
that.
can't do that.
No, it's all about like, are you an artist? Do you love,
Yeah,
dogs?
they're
Where do you
supposed to,
go
like-
on for
It-
vacation?
It's pretty cool. They all go around with their little notebooks and they write
Yeah.
down notes on people. And
So
then
they can remember who.
Who said what?
Yeah, and I think
they cross-reference it with their other people in the pods.
Does anyone ever win just because they've got a sexy voice? Like there's like a Howard Stern deep voice. Someone's,
Well, there was one
That's
girl that they
very
all
funny.
thought had a sexy voice, and hey, I don't like that. And I was like, that?
She had that vocal fry.
Yeah, I guess some people like that. And
That Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Oh, she got it?
Britney Spears she sang with a vocal fry.
Oh,
Kardashians.
that's a perfect Britney.
I'm finishing Britney's book right now. It's wild.
Is it?
Really? Is it ghostwritten or did she write it?
I think she wrote it because the way that it's written is like
There's a million typos.
literally it's she
Just kidding,
writes-
Brittany. If Brittany's
Yeah,
watching,
Brittany.
we're big fans.
She writes how she talks.
Okay.
Southern.
It says, "I was like, oh my god, no freaking way, I didn't do that." Like,
Oh,
like
so
a-
she totally wrote that.
like a run-on sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that. So you feels like you're actually talking to Brittany the whole time.
But you didn't want to listen to it because I know Michelle Williams does the.
Yeah, I want to read it and make my own voice in my head.
Yeah, you don't
Britney
want
Spears is.
that
Yeah.
Oscar-nominated actress read it to you. Forget about
No.
that.
Okay, I was gonna say that I think you could be on a lot of reality shows because people would be like, "He's so charming," and then you'd be like, "Ha!" and like cut her throat.
Wrong. I'm a
Cut her
dick.
throat
What
on a
an
reality
episode.
TV show.
No,
Cut
I
her
mean,
throat.
I'm a
Metaphorically,
bit of sociopath.
like on Survivor.
He's so charming. And,
You-
actually murder.
You would no
Hold
real
on.
murder.
You would
Keep
have to.
going.
They would have to make sure the climate is so nice for you to be in a good mood for this whole show.
That's
Survivor.
such I want to try I auditioned with my sister. She wanted to be on Amazing Race
Nice.
pretty bad.
Hmm.
So me and her auditioned, and they said our whole gimmick was to have Asian people that like to run, and that was it. And apparently, it wasn't good enough. Wasn't good enough for them.
Mm.
You have to bicker or something.
I have no idea what. I never watched an episode of Amazing Race, so I didn't know what it was about.
Maybe that was why. You
Yeah, I didn't say that in the tape.
Did you
though.
did you pitch it as The Amazing Race and you said, well, our race is 2 half Asians. Did you think it was
Yeah.
a show about race?
It was
Yeah.
a pun.
It was a pun. It was a pun, and they didn't care for it.
Mm-hmm. You know,
I-
Gina almost got on.
Oh,
Yeah, she did. Very
Yeah,
close.
very close.
And because
There was audition like callbacks for.
Oh,
Yeah, like
And that's
3
where
or
they-
4.
With who? With her boyfriend or with?
No, with a friend of hers. Yeah.
And it was amazing because I got to see the contract, and the contract said like, "Hey, you're really close. It might get you. No one ever said their teeth couldn't be too white on TV. Now might be a good time to whiten it." Like just little things like that, being like, "Here's
Wow.
10 simple hints just in case you get on.
Right.
Interesting.
We're not telling you to do this, but
you want to step on the scale and see
Yeah.
the number and
yeah, it was
minus 10.
like knocked up exactly almost."
No one ever said you shouldn't get rhinoplasty.
Yeah, it's like very specific to you. Like that time to book a trip to Turkey.
Here
Ian.
are 3 great doctors with their numbers beside them.
Yeah,
Yes,
her,
that works.
her boyfriend's contract just says sign here. She's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, this isn't from The Amazing Race at all.
Yeah. I got far with my dad like years ago.
Really?
On The Amazing Race?
as well?
Mhm.
That's super cute.
But I think it was because we tried to film a video of us doing stuff, and then he dropped a weight on his foot and was like, "Fuck!"
And you guys kept.
And I was like, "I'm gonna keep it in," and they really liked it.
That's cute.
Like a 65-year-old man just swearing at me, being like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Are you okay?" No, and I'm like,
I don't want to do this.
I just kept it, and it was a hit. But yeah,
Your bit for The Amazing Race was slapstick. You're always
Yeah.
hurting.
You're
your-
high in
I
his
finally do
face.
this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah.
The Amazing Race for me, just as a concept, feels like it's gonna always be a letdown. I've never seen the show, and I imagine people really love it, but it always just like the concept feels to me like it would be such a letdown because like we gotta get to Turkey. It's like okay, everyone has to get on a plane.
Right.
Planes leave at scheduled intervals. Pick the earliest one and get there for it. That's the journey. If
It's
you
the connection, so they risk like the back-to-back connections, and they're like, okay, we only have 20 minutes in between, but we can get there earlier. So there's a little bit of
Okay, so there's
Obviously,
strategy.
this guy doesn't know anything
I don't know
about it.
jack shit about anything.
It'd be
but I'll
cool to
tell
feel like you
this.
can't take a plane. Like you have to get there by sea.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Or-
they do.
or drive
Did they do that?
yourself and use a map.
Yeah, but with the magic of editing,
I just
they
want
just
them to-
arrive there, and the problem
Right.
is like sitting on that plane for 5 hours next to that person. Oh my god, you ruined that last challenge really badly when you drop that weight on your foot, you idiot.
I want them to drop them in the middle of the forest and be like, you have to get to Vancouver, Canada.
Like
and they're
alone.
like, where are we? And they're like, good luck.
You want Naked and Afraid meets Amazing Race.
Yes. I do.
No money, no clothes. You have to get to Vancouver,
Yeah.
Canada. You're in London, England right now.
But it is
Good luck.
amazing, and it is a race.
Right.
It's like Rat
Amazing
Race.
subject.
That's a good show. I'd watch that.
Rat Race?
If my porn show doesn't take off, I will watch that show. No,
Wait,
yeah, I'll
what?
just go home and watch Rat Race. No, your show, Naked and Afraid, and then they have to like
Yeah.
find their way into some money,
Yeah.
into clothes to get on a plane,
Yeah.
and just first one to arrive in Vancouver.
But on the contract, it's all gonna say, no one hasn't been on television that needs a tan. You know, you can always use it better with a
Whiten your
tan.
teeth a little
See
bit.
our girl Chelsea for that
Yeah,
tan.
you don't need to wear shorts. Like, what does that mean? It's all very passive aggressive. Have you seen Alone?
Yes.
Yeah, Alone's great.
Alone's
is
great.
Alone
Have you
is-
seen Alone?
What's that?
Alone is people survive alone. You don't know
In the wilderness. Yeah.
in the wilderness. You're competing against other people who are also surviving alone. You have to survive the longest, and you don't know when other people are going to give up, if they're going to give up at all.
And no crew. You have your own camera. You
Oh,
film
the last
everything.
person to be out there.
Yeah.
It's like that guy who thought he was fighting the World War II for like 20 years.
Yeah.
The last Japanese soldier.
Yeah.
How long has someone gone on Alone with like you won already?
Oh,
100 days was the longest.
was it? Yeah, they keep coming in with the medical team and they check your weight, whatnot. Because like at the last one I watched, this lady had dropped maybe like 30 pounds, and they're like, "You've lost too much weight. You're gonna die out here." And she's, "No, I want to stay. I'm happy out here now." And they're like, "You have to go."
They made her leave.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it happens a lot. They're like
And
starving. And
yeah, because it's hard to find anything to eat because they're out there in the middle. I think I watched the one in Alaska.
Yeah.
Do they tell the last person when they've won?
Yeah, they show up there and they're
their
just like-
loved one shows up.
and they break down and cry, and they're like, but yeah, the guy that won last time he was just having a good time out there. He was like cutting up
Barbecuing.
moose. Yeah,
He sees his
he's like,
wife.
"Oh,
He's like,
I
oh,
could have
fuck."
gone for a little bit longer. I was actually having a great time right now.
Some of the earlier seasons, like they.
Was it the guy who hunted the moose with the bow?
Oh, that's the good season too.
Yeah, that,
You've
Oh,
seen
it
every
wasn't
reality
him?
show in the world, every
Guys,
episode.
I got a lot of time. My dad works for Bell. We have cable, and it's not expensive.
Whoa,
that's a huge
insider
bag.
That's a big
trading.
flex. he drops weights on his foot, but otherwise.
If you want to get a deep tan with Chelsea, I can give you a discount.
That's our show. Watch more